Good morning, good morning. Are we live? Looks like it. Jay Waz, good morning. Patrick, good morning. I had trouble signing into YouTube today for some reason. I went to go set up the stream and it wouldn't let me sign in. It was telling me that my account does not have, what did it say? This account is not yet eligible to use YouTube. So that was a little scary. But I rebooted my computer and everything is fine now. Schroden, good morning. Well, I got 2 trades in already. Just as I was getting my daughter on the bus. I'll walk through those really quick. So right here, we ended up having a delta squeeze. So I took that short. And I was hoping that we were going to come back down here to previous day low. But then we got this tick up right here in the green zone. So then at that point, I started trailing the wicks and then I got stopped out at the end of this wick right here. So I got 7 3/4 points on that one. And then we set up for the power zone tick up right here for a long because the delta was still above the confirmation line, which was rising. So I went long there with the 80 tick stop. And I didn't think I was going to actually get this high. So I targeted the daily open. And I was going to exit if we ticked down anywhere in here, but we never did. Took profit, and then we ticked down from that upper power zone. So we've been kind of just grinding down ever since. This trade ended up being 54 3/4, so not a bad way to start the day. Let's go ahead and check out the news for today. Looks like the next news event, crude oil inventories at 9:30, but that's a medium impact. It's probably not going to do a whole lot. We do have FOMC meeting minutes today. It's listed as high impact. I'm still not really sure about which one of those are high. I mean, they all say high when it's at FOMC meeting minutes, but there's the meeting minutes and then there's like one other version of it. I think when they're at the podium answering questions, I think it could be a little bit more volatile on those days, but I don't think they're doing that today, are they? Do you guys know about that? So this might be, it might not have a whole lot of impact. I don't know. And then tomorrow, there's not a whole lot going on tomorrow. I have a meeting today, so I'm not going to be able to trade past 11 if we even make it that far. So we'll see what the market looks like. We'll see if we are swinging nicely. If we are, we'll keep trading. If not, if we start chopping around, then I'll probably call it quits early today. Stoic Wisdom, good morning. Yesterday ended up being a pretty crazy day. I ended the stream at about, I think I was at 98 points, something like that. And then the market kept moving, so I put on a few more trades after that, actually more than a few. And the market was like a giving tree. It just kind of kept giving. I ended, was trading alongside JWAS for a little bit there in the afternoon, and I don't remember exactly what I ended at, but it was over 200 for the 200 points for the day. That was pretty good. I'm looking back at our conversation, see where it was. I can't find it. I know it was over 200 though. Anyway. Stealth, good morning. So let's check out these higher time frames. Yesterday we were trying something a little different. We were flipping our bearish and bullish labels based off of the signal line instead of what we normally do. We normally flip those based off of whether the delta is above or below the confirmation line. So in this case, delta is above confirmation line, so we'd say we're bullish on the 5. It's under the confirmation line, so bearish on the 15. Under on the hourly, so bearish on the hourly. And honestly, I mean, I didn't really use those a whole lot yesterday. I was mainly just trading the signals on the 1. So I think what I'll do is probably just go back to labeling these according to the bird's eye view, which is using the confirmation line. But I do think trading in the direction of the signal on the 5-minute actually makes a lot of sense. JWAS is still having really good luck doing that. So, for example, if the signal's ticked down, look for shorts on the 1. If it's ticked up, look for longs on the 1. Pretty simple. We got market open in about 7 minutes. We'll see if that 825 algorithm jostles the market in a couple minutes here. The ATR numbers have been pretty high overnight. I was actually surprised to see that when I woke up this morning. I think when I woke up, it was at like an 80. My Forex ATR. Right now it's sitting at a 49. I wish I was up this morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning because this drop here was very nice. Let's just take a look at that. At this point, the delta started turning negative. We touched the delta, so kind of a questionable delta squeeze, but it was the second tick down under the delta in that upper power zone. So if you took that short at 5:05 a.m., you would have been short right here. And if you took that, if you notice how aggressively the delta is falling right here. So you know how I said yesterday that if you're in those trades and it's falling aggressively, a lot of times it just makes more sense to wait and hold until you get the cross above delta. And in this case, it didn't cross delta until here, but at that point, the delta is still super big and fat. So it's not just a cross above delta, you want to cross above a thin delta. So, you know, you don't even have to look at the chart. You just look at the indicator and pull that over. There's your cross. It barely crosses above delta and it comes back down, and then here's your thin cross right there. So at 5:43, Let's see where that would have ended up. Your thin cross would be right there. That would have been 136 points on that trade. Beautiful. JWAS, you're long right now? I was thinking about taking that, but Delta did cross under the confirmation line, so I am going to wait for a short. I'm going to be a little more selective, I think, today. Especially now that I got some points on the board. It's weird how my mind works that way. If I'm doing good, I tend to trade less. If I'm doing bad, I tend to trade more. Should probably be the other way around. Well, did that 825 candle do anything? Well, it was a decent sized candle. Pushed it up. You got a little bit of chop here on the Delta. JWAS, doesn't that go against your 5-minute strategy? Since that signal was ticked down? Living on the edge today. Gotcha. Yeah. And I could see we got a little bit of chop on the 5 too. We got that little spotty delta there. See if it pulls out of it. Good morning, G2. Well, JWAS, you're doing well. Back above VWAP. However, guys, we are at VWAP and we open in 45 seconds. Anytime we open at VWAP, it can be pretty ugly from a chop perspective. So hopefully we could get away from VWAP, not continue to chop it. Got the open in about 20 seconds. Stealth, good question. Stealth is asking, he says, I was playing the Asian session yesterday. How would you calculate the take profit and stops when it's slower? It's funny that you say that because JWAS and I were talking about that last night. And JWAS, I think, did pretty good last night in the slowness. Hold hold on, guys. This actually might be a short here. I'll have to pay attention a little bit. Let's see if I can think and talk at the same time. My wife says I can't, but so yeah, last night when it was slower, I glanced over at my 4x ATR number, and if I remember correctly, it was like in the teens. It was like a 14 or 15, something like that. And I told Jay anytime it's like below a 25, I just would rather stay out of the market because it's so slow. Like, you can make some money, but it takes a while. And a lot of times you just end up getting chopped up because the delta likes to be super thin and spotty like this. So anytime you're in the thin spotty delta, it's like you're walking on thin ice. It can easily flip either way. So in those cases, it's better to stay out. And that's why I like the fat delta candles, because those give you a clear direction of where the market sentiment is, and you could try to, ride the current, so to speak. So like, imagine you're in a river and the current, say there is no current, or it's like a swirly current and it's not really going either way. It's just kind of swirling around. That's kind of how the market is when that ATR number is so low. You can just get chopped up pretty easily. It's like right now, you look at this spotty delta. That's hopefully we can break out of that, but there's a lot of indecision in the market there. Hopefully you made some money on that one, Jay-Waz. I know we got this broadening formation now. This little tiny guy. Nice. Can't complain about that. Yeah, the market's a lot more fun to trade when the market's actually moving. Like yesterday was kind of a dream day. I did really well yesterday, but I wish I could do it over because I left a ton on the table as well. And I was just a little gun shy there early on. Afraid to pull the trigger. One side of the broadening formation to the other. Yeah, the ATR now is back at a 93. The good thing about that is that you can make a decent amount of money pretty quick. The bad part about that, you can also get stopped out pretty quick. But as I was saying yesterday, even if you use a stop that's too small, well, too small for most cases. If you get the signal, and if it's a good signal, usually there's hardly any drawdown at all. So yesterday I was still using my 80 tick stop, even though it was a little on the small side. You know, sometimes I wonder if I should just trade pre-market and not the New York Open. If you look at a lot of these pre-market moves, a lot of them are just so smooth compared to, you know, after you get the New York Open, then it just turns into a rat's nest. It is definitely more difficult to trade. And I kind of expected this here, opening at the VWAP. We could just continue to chop sideways here for quite a while. So yeah, it looks like I need to start waking up earlier. Start streaming at 5 a.m. maybe. Get some trades in before I get the kids on the bus. Be done for the day potentially. Look at us back at the bottom of the broadening formation. Here we come. Notice how those moves just get bigger and bigger as it proceeds through that formation. We are flashing a lower high on the 5-minute. The 5-minute delta is negative. That's pretty bearish. The 15 is flashing a tick down. We got 2 tick downs under the delta in the red zone here with the weak delta under the confirmation line. So it looks like it's going to expand down if we are going to expand. This second tick down at 837, I was thinking about taking that short, but still a little afraid of this VWAP chop. So still a little gun shy. Definitely would have got 31 points out of it. 42 and a quarter, it looks like. We make it to this order block over here. That would be about 70 points. Look at that delta just fold over that signal line. Back inside the broadening formation. You know, with these broadening formations, if it retraces back to the halfway mark, it usually takes out the other end. And we're at that halfway mark, so wouldn't be surprised if we end up back at the daily open. G2, the 15-minute signal has flat spot down. You mean the lower high on the signal? And that's not confirmed yet. We got, what, another minute? And here we are making our way to the other end of the broadening formation. Still inside our 15-minute range. Back above VWAP. Yeah, this is junk so far. If you're trading the Browning formation, you'd be doing pretty good. JWAS, not sure where BTC is going to go here. Liquidation heat map shows all liquidity grabbed with not really much below. Let's take a look at Bitcoin quick. Here's our Delta squeeze that we pointed out yesterday at 3 a.m. For a short, you would still be in that, or I should say I would still be in that if I could short, but I can't short crypto. Not unless I do JWAS's workaround. Yeah, everything across the board is not looking good. These drops are pretty significant. Solana's back under 200. Was down here at 193. My bots won't stop buying me back in until this delta gets above the confirmation line, so I am out of all of this. Higher time frames. If you look at the daily, that doesn't look good for Bitcoin. We do have positive slope on the delta. That's the one thing going for it. But we're under the confirmation line. We're ticking down under that delta, and the delta is negative. That could be a significant downturn. The 8 hour still looking pretty bearish. On the 4 hour, doesn't look so bad. We're still above the confirmation line. Confirmation line is still rising, and the signal's in the lower power zone. So if we tick up there on the 4 hour, that could be a decent recovery. Back to NQ in this nasty chop. Jason Richardson, good morning. Hey, Steve. Steve's all the way in Thailand. I'm good. Hope you're well too. Yes, the bots have patience, JWAS. That's what I like about the bots. You can just set your rules and let it do its thing. No emotions. Raphael, do you believe that tomorrow is a holiday? What? Is it really? I did not know that. No markets. What is the holiday? Is it like a bank holiday or something? Ah, Jimmy Carter Day. Is that a new holiday? Or is that just this year? Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Have they done that for any other president? Well, looks like our broadening formation is still working here. We're fixing to take out that high. The nice thing about broadening formations is that the moves get bigger and bigger as you move from left to right. The sucky part about them is there is no trend. So if you're a trend trader, you're going to get eaten up. Markets close at 2 tomorrow, right? That's what you're talking about? So 2 p.m. Eastern, I assume. So that would be 1 p.m. my time, Central Time. And look at that. It failed to take out the high, so it's rushing back to the bottom. Just made another low. Maybe this is where we break out of this thing. Delta's still very nasty. Also nasty on the 5. Schroden thinks it'll stall or U-turn at around 21,262. 21,262. Okay, that's on that order block there. I would tend to agree with that, with this significant move that it put in over here at 7 a.m. As long as we can stay above it. Well, so far the bias is definitely to the downside. Delta on the 1's been under the confirmation line this whole time. Confirmation line does have a negative slope. We're putting in our second lower high on the 5-minute with a weak delta, so that's kind of bearish. And we're flashing a lower high tick down on the 15. It is not very clean, though, at all. So yeah, if you guys want a little note for your notebook, you should just write down anytime we open at VWAP, just walk away. It almost always does this. And chop sideways. JWAS, NQ price is under the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, current 4-hour candle. Tried to break above but failed. It's making me so tired I was already sleepy from not sleeping. I know, this is kind of numbing price action. Well, it looks like pre-market is definitely where it was at today. I wish I would have got up earlier. There's a lot of good moves in here. Even this one here, when the delta turned negative and you got the second tick down from the upper power zone. Right here. Does that show up on my screen? Yeah. If you take that down to the delta cross in the lower power zone, that's right, boom, right there. That would have been another 95 points. And even this one, just before 7 a.m., you got the delta cross and the confirmation line, the pullback into the power zone. That's your entry right there for a long. And if you take that to the power zone cross, it'll be right here. It'll be another 91 points. Lots of good moves in there. I just got an alert for this delta squeeze that's on my screen right here. However, my bot will not take those unless the delta is above the confirmation line. So, however, this is a good level. That actually might be a good long right there. Back up to the top of the range. GC is cleaner, huh? Let's check out gold. Yeah, it is a little cleaner. There is a delta squeeze here at 854. That would have been a good short. Hey, we broke out of the top of the 15-minute range. Delta's getting stronger. Back above the confirmation line. See if we can hold up there. So if we can hold up here and then retest the top of that 15-minute range and get a entry signal, I will probably go long. Got a limit order sitting on the 8. I know that we did just tick down from that upper power zone, but we did break out of the 15-minute range. The delta is pretty strong right now. So as long as the delta is strong, let's see if I can get snagged in on a wick. And I am in. Whether or not that's a good idea is questionable. I'm in at 371. I got a really tight stop, so I could easily get stopped out on this. Come on, get back above the 8. There you go. And it took me out. That was a bad idea. I should have waited for more of the retest and break. But if you're trying to catch an entry on the 8, sometimes that happens, especially when the ATR is at 118. My gosh. Yeah, maybe trading against those power zone tick downs is not the best idea. Starting to lose that VWAP. We heading back down to the bottom of the range. It's a hefty candle there. Look at that. I just redrew my broadening formation and it kissed it perfectly right there. if you use these two wicks. I should have done that in advance. Megaphone chop. Yeah, well, that is cheating doing it afterwards, but I should have had those lined up when the price was down here. I still had my old wicks on there. So I should have been able to see that easier. Just took out that primary target, which was the bottom wick. And we're dipping into that order block now. Will we get a bounce here? Which is also the bottom of that broadening formation. We ended up taking out this low over here, and there was a fair value gap here. And looks like that's what it dipped into. That's quite the drop, though. That's one thing I like about broadening formations is as they play out, the moves get bigger and bigger. And I should have been more aware of that when we were near the top here. I shouldn't have tried to go long. I should have just looked for a short setup. So I definitely could have played that better. That power zone tick down is right where it was at. We got some big fat deltas. I cannot lie. We get a higher low, you're going to go long. I don't know. We're outside the broadening formation. Be interesting to see if we start to climb back inside. Just as I say that, we're moving up here. I don't know. I have a sense that maybe we retest the bottom of that 15-minute range and then we maybe head down lower. Maybe. We'll see what the delta tells us. Yeah, ATR is still through the roof. Sitting at like a 118. Delta is still very thick. It's getting thicker, actually. This could be an impulsive breakout entry. Well, technically it doesn't. Technically, it doesn't satisfy the requirement for that because the signal's got to be under the delta. And it's above. So far, though, it is rejecting off that 15-minute range. Delta still headed down. It's putting in our first higher low. Delta is tapering. So maybe we do get a bounce here. Got a limit order in to go long, but not sure if I'll get picked up. Yep, I think I missed the train on that. You guys heard me say yesterday how the first higher low after a drop from the other end of the indicator is usually a pretty good trade. And the opposite, the first lower high from the upper power zone. So I'll go ahead and cancel that order. I was way down here, just above that little order block. I would enter on the candle close. However, you need a giant stop to do that. In this case, 80 ticks would have worked, but it could have easily came down, stopped me out, and then went up. So that's why I was trying to get in lower here. And the delta is now positive and heading back up. We are up at the 50. Could see a rejection here, but I kind of doubt it. The delta is heading up nicely so far. Maybe we end up back at VWAP and then turn back down. Schroden, yeah, the fees can creep up on you if you're trying to scalp too tight. The cumulative delta signals yesterday were really good, actually. If you just followed those for your exits, you should have done pretty well. Part of the lesson learned to follow cumulative delta for the exits. Yeah, you know, when the price is moving really well, it definitely pays to follow those. A lot of times, I'll use. You guys see me use like 125 ticks as a take profit a lot. I typically only try to do that when the price is not moving very well. But when the price is moving, you almost always will end up with better results just following the cumulative delta. Like, just even if you just follow it to the next tick that goes against you on the signal line, you know, on some they might be kind of shallow, but you know, as far as the profits go, but a lot of times it can run for, you know, 150 points before it ticks against you. So yeah, lesson learned: when the price is moving, give more priority to the indicator. Back under the 8 here and under the 20. We're starting to put in a high or low tick up on the signal, but the delta's under a falling confirmation line, and we are under those EMAs. So if we put in a lower high, I might go short here. G2, yeah, probably not a bad idea. If you're heading out, we will see you later. Thanks for stopping. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up before you take off. I could use those thumbs ups. Let's see how many we got today. Only 9 likes. Maybe we'll get to 10. Oh, there's 10. Thanks, G2. We'll see you later. Schroden, your subs are steadily increasing. A few days ago, I think you were close to 300. Yeah, they're creeping up. What are we at now? 360 something? All right, Delta is flashing negative. We're about to potentially put in a tick down. from the red zone. If we do, I'm going to go ahead and take this one short. And I am short. Don't go back up, no! And it just took me out. That's how quick it can happen. I didn't time the close of that candle very well. I went short at 21,280.75. 80.75. And it got me. Looks like I should have threw in the towel when New York opened. You know, it didn't look too bad. We closed under the 8. We closed under the 20. We got 2 takedowns from the red zone. The delta was negative. And it just said no. Now the delta is cranking up. Back to VWAP. It's probably more of a short squeeze there. Everybody else probably tried going short too. Now they're all getting stopped out. ATR is still high, so we're chopping, but we're chopping with some giant candles. For that reason, I think I'm just going to start setting my take profit at 125 ticks and see if I can just snag a couple of them. Stealth Delta crossing confirmation line, my favorite. You're in a buy. Okay. Good deal. Did you buy when it crossed, or when did you buy? This higher low on the signal is not a bad place to enter, where I got stopped out. Right here. If I was shooting for 125 ticks, would have got that pretty quick. So yeah, I'm going to see if I could snag a couple of them. Well, and we have retraced halfway from this broadening formation line. So at this point, I would assume that we're going to go take out the high. We did get a tick down from the upper power zone, so that's what got me last time, as I went long in this area when we ticked down from the power zone. So we could roll over here as well at VWAP. Looks like it's trying to. Back under the 8. Delta starting to flash negative. So can we get a tick up above this rising delta? If we can, I might take it long. But it looks like it wants to roll over like it did last time. Yep, Delta's negative now, starting to roll over. Signal's back under the Delta. So longs are off the table for me. So I saw that Zeiierman released a update to the buy-sell toolkit, and it looks like some people in the group were kind of excited about the changes. I have not checked those out. Have any of you guys checked that out? I'm curious what those changes are. But so far, it looks like the feedback is really good, really positive. This guy says, I love this new update. Cobbs says it's a remarkable achievement. Zeiierman says the old grid cloud is now replaced with the smart trend cloud. I'm going to have to check that out. Added a predictive smart cloud for forecasting price movements. Well, guys, the power zone has done it again. Shorted that. So far, it's ran 53 points. Let's see what this power zone was. Would a 80 tick stop have worked here? No. Looks like 80 ticks would have got stopped out on that one, but it did go up. And the last one up here That power zone ticked down. If you took that to the opposite tick up from the other power zone, that would have been 122 points. That would have been beautiful. So there are moves in here. I'm just I'm not taking them. And you know what? When you're ranging, which I think we clearly are, the power zones are where we need to focus. And I haven't really been focused on those. So there are some moves in there. The indicator did pinpoint them. We are back above the 8 here. We did get a tick up from the green zone. It's not in a power zone, but that is a potential long. But it would probably be safer to wait for a power zone. That tick up was right here at 948. Almost no drawdown on that one. Still would have worked. ETR's come down a little, but it's still pretty high to 88. Got the delta curling up now. It's actually looking pretty decent. Curling up above that confirmation line. We are getting a tick up above a rising delta. It is in the red zone. But that could be a long there. A risky one. Delta is gaining some momentum. Here we are again with that tick up. Might actually take a shot at this. I am long. At 356.75. We got the 10 o'clock hourly candle in 2 minutes. Hopefully it doesn't flip it back down on me. Delta still climbing. Need to get a little push here, though. And we got the 10 o'clock candle. There you go. Keep pushing. And now it's hesitating. And we got to close under the 8, so I pulled it at 347.25. So it looks like I lost 9.5 points on that one. I knew that was a little riskier from the red zone. Well, guys, it's getting to the point where I feel like I am trying to force things that aren't really here. Still in the profit for the day, but I gave back quite a bit of what I had. So I'm going to go ahead and just call it here, and we'll see if things develop later today. But I got a meeting I got to get to here in an hour or two, so I got to get ready for that. And if we're having that holiday tomorrow, I'm not sure what tomorrow's going to look like, so maybe you'll see me, maybe you won't. But if not, I should be back on Friday. So good luck, guys, and we will chat with you later.
Oh, wow, look at that move. It's like one of those big Delta candles. I mean, who even trades those tiny candles anymore? I like big fat candles, I can't deny. When the Delta's green and riding high, when a chart spikes thick with a bullish wick, I'm glued to my screen, that's the trick. I want to bounce quick, can't let it go. Big Delta bars, let that volume show. I'm zooming out, yeah, that's my groove. Catching waves in a Delta move. Wanna trade slow? Nah, too tame. This market's got heat, I'm in the game. Delta's skinny, not my taste. Fat candles on my happy place. Oh, traders, let me see that line. When the buyers push, I feel just fine. It's the fat move, no squeeze fake. I'm in this trend with no break. Got entries, stacking tall, no weak signals, I'm all in, y'all. Skinny candles just ain't for me. Big Delta's my golden key. Sitting tight while volume pops. Green wave up won't make me stop. Short candles, nope, they're a bore. Give me fat Deltas, I want more. Like those thick moves, yeah, yeah. Wanna break through, you know. Don't you fold. Big Deltas fill the chart with might. Skinny moves don't make it right. I like big fat candles, can't deny. When the volume surges up so high, skinny trades can take a seat. Big fat Deltas are what I be. Well, traders low, let me see that log is goes on my happy Delta. Skinny, not my taste. Fat candles on my happy place. Oh, traders, let me see that line. When the buyers push, I feel just fine. It's the fat move, no squeeze fake. I'm in this trend with no break. Got entries, stacking tall, no weak signals, I'm all in, y'all. Skinny candles just ain't for me. Big Delta's my golden key. Big Delta's my golden key. Sitting tight while volume pops. Green wave up won't make me stop. Short candles, nope, they're a bore. Give me fat Deltas, I want more. Like those thick moves, yeah, yeah. Wanna break through, you know. And hold the blade, don't you fold. Big Deltas fill the chart with might. Skinny moves don't make it right. Like those thick moves, yeah, yeah. Wanna break through, you know. Then hold, then play, don't you fold. Big Deltas fill the chart with might. Skinny moves don't make it right.